Black myth Wukong has found itself at the center of a lot of controversies, whether manufactured or not. I'll let you decide that, but poorly translated and maybe even mistranslated articles popped up all over about this game leading up to the launch of it. And of course, it was your usual sort of suspects, the gaming journalists themselves. Now, I don't hate gaming journalists. I do kind of question what they do sometimes in terms of what they write and how they perceive things and just kind of what the motivation is behind some of the articles. But even if someone that I'm not a huge fan of writes a good article, I'll give them credit. Like, it just doesn't happen very often. But of course, Black Myth Wukong has now released. It's been out for a few days now, and wow, it is defying expectations, and once again, the usual suspects are not very happy with this. Black Myth Wukong has sold over 10 million copies on the Steam platform and PS5 combined. Now, personally, I have not picked up this game yet. I'm actually working on a review for another game that's coming out very soon, but honestly, I might pick this up because I am interested in the game. I like monkeys. I think monkey men are cool and they look interesting. Planet of the Apes is awesome, but the controversy around Black Myth Wukong has done anything but subside, even with the success of the game, over 10 million copies sold. It seems like now there's other reasons for it. Now you have to talk about all of these other things, and now you have to talk about the people potentially playing and buying Black Myth Wukong. Now, I am someone who follows a lot of different content creators. Whether I agree with them or disagree with them on certain topics doesn't really matter to me. I like to see a spice of life. I like to see people from different walks of life, whether they're different races, different sexes, different sexual orientations. As long as they're making good content, like, I'm interested in it, or I'm interested in their opinions if we kind of have similar opinions on different topics. And I have seen a litany of people playing this game, no matter what race, no matter what sex, no matter what sexual orientation. A lot of people have been playing this game, and a lot of people are enjoying it. But it seems like you're not supposed to be enjoying it. If you're a fan of this game, you're kind of a problem, which is bizarre to me. That's such a bizarre statement. And where does this statement come from? Well, of course, a lot of it comes from select gaming journalists continuing to write hit pieces on this game because I guess they're not happy to see a game like this succeed because it doesn't align with their values and their viewpoints. And this recent article, I just have to highlight it. Don't send any ill will towards the writer of it or anything like that. That's not what we do here. I just like to highlight things because when you do an article, when you make a tweet, when you make a YouTube video, you put yourself out there in a public space. And people can agree with you and people can disagree with you. I tell people to disagree with me all the time on this channel if they don't like what I'm saying because I don't think that affects anything. Like, you're not going to agree with everyone all the time. That creates an echo chamber, and nobody wants to live in an echo chamber. Well, at least normal people don't. So let's take a look at this article here. This is from .esports because this might be the absolute cherry on top of the crap sundae. Black Myth Wukong's shameless lack of diversity is attracting the wrong type of fans. We shouldn't be carrying hate into what should be a safe space for everyone. Now, let's go back a minute ago. What did I say? That I've seen people of all races, creeds, sexual orientations, genders, a ton of people playing this game and enjoying this game. So why is it not a safe space? Is there something like, where they attack a certain race or attack a certain gender? No, there's not a lack of diversity. And this is actually stemming from the fact that in this game about monkey men, there's not enough women in this Monkey Man universe. There should be more women within this Monkey Man universe. A story originated in Chinese mythology, being developed by a Chinese studio that does not have your same viewpoint, that does not have your same ethics, that does not have your same morals, that is a different culture, made a game they wanted to make, but there wasn't enough women monkeys in it. It was, you wanted to see some monkey titties, pal? Come on, you don't have to be coy here. I mean, I would take a peek. I wouldn't enjoy it, but I would take a peek here. But there's not enough women monkeys in this game, according to .esports. Okay, that whatever floats your boat, man. I do wonder. I do sincerely wonder if when playing Madden every year, these journalists are like, where are the women on the field? There needs to be women on the field. Women aren't going to like this, even though women definitely enjoy football. Some of them enjoy football more than men. And I don't see women, the people who are lacking diversity, evidently, in Black Myth Wukong, complaining that there's no representation of them in Madden. I don't see them really complaining that there's not enough women monkeys in Black Myth Wukong. I guess Wumonkey. Wumonkey? Yeah, we're going to go Wumonkey. But alas, these people just have to create these narratives, and when you scroll along, it turns into the culture war stuff. It turns into, we've got to talk about the article that was questionably translated at best. There's a lack of inclusion. Notice all of the ads on these websites too. Anti-woke gamers assemble. Maybe people just like the game. Do you honestly think that all 10 million people, which probably a large contingency of them are Chinese, because this is a game made by a Chinese studio talking about a Chinese story that would appeal to Chinese, diversity, having different types of games for different types of people. Do you honestly believe that every single one of these people buying this game is some right-wing, anti-woke grifter? Or are they just playing a game that they found to be interesting and seem to be enjoying the game itself? Now, yes, there does seem to be some performance issues on the PlayStation 5, not to the level of something like Cyberpunk, but I watched some of the Digital Foundry video, and it's some things that need to be ironed out. But generally speaking, even reviews of this game from websites who are making stories like this continue to perpetuate these narratives about the game. So are your own writers also right-wing grifter? Like, why does everything have to be so political? Like, all because there's a small minority of people, even this right here, because it's not, I don't know if you could say this word on here. Well, we'll say it. Because it's not gay or woke, a top comment reads, which at the time of the writing has nearly 4,000 likes. On Twitter, likes don't matter on Twitter, and that's 4,000 out of 10 million. So are all 10 million of these people bad people? And it just goes on and on. Diversity isn't a bad thing, and we shouldn't be afraid of it. You're right. This is a diverse game because it's a Chinese story being done by a Chinese studio who usually doesn't get worldwide acclaim for their games. This is the most diverse thing I've seen in quite a while. It's not some forced diversity game where you have a checklist of different, races, sexes, genders, sexual orientations just to have it in there. And if that was the case, if that's what people actually really wanted out of their games, why do so many of those games underperform? Why is Concord not lighting the world on fire with all of that different types of characters and stuff like that? Because at the end of the day, most people just want to play a quality game. Half the people on the planet are women, or half the people on the planet women during the Chinese mythology, during Monkey Man. Like, I don't get the point of this article. And then you just keep scrolling down. We all share a common hobby, and we should stand together to make sure as many people can enjoy it as possible. What is stopping someone from enjoying Black Myth Wukong? Because there's not monkey titties in it? Is that the big holdup here? There's not enough monkey titties in it, so you can't enjoy the game? I don't get this. And then, of course, the crazy divide in the industry is terrible. And if you're reading this and it made you mad, I've got one thing to say: cry more. Who is crying? I believe you are the individual that is crying here, because you are the one that is perpetuating these negative stereotypes about anyone who enjoys Black Myth Wukong. You're creating it into a culture war. But here's the kicker. Here is the kicker, because you make an article. Get this ad off my screen. God, I hate websites. You make this article trying to talk down to the fan base of this game, saying that, they're bad people. They don't like, women and stuff like that, whatever the case may be. You make this long-winded article saying that it's the wrong types of fans. However, let's look at the sidebar here. How to get refined iron sand in Black Myth Wukong. How to beat the white-clad noble boss in Black Myth Wukong. Now that's weird. So you're putting FAQs and walkthrough-togethers to appeal to the wrong type of fan on your own website to make money because you have a million freaking ads all over the place. Do you not see the hypocrisy in this? How are you going to say, oh, this game bad, doesn't have enough, monkey titties in it for me. Anyone who likes this game is a right-wing grifter, this, that, or the other. We don't like, it's attracting the wrong type of fans, but you're trying to monetize these fans by making these articles so that they come to your website and read your walkthrough on how to accomplish something. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? A Chinese game is not going to have the same sort of moral and ethical guidelines that a Western game is. You know why? Because you could see it with Japan. There's tons of Japanese games that if it was made in the West, some people would probably raise some eyebrows. A game coming out of Saudi Arabia, a game coming out of, Africa, like the Congo or something like that. All of these games are going to be different representations of different things because the world is a vast place. I don't know if you've noticed this, but the world is very diverse in terms of what is socially acceptable, what is not socially acceptable, what you can do under a certain government, what you can't do under a certain government. The fact that you live in the United States where you could have freedom of speech, at least most of the time, is a stark contrast to if you lived in China. And, these people that live in China, I don't think they chose to necessarily live there. A lot of them were born there. So they have to make the best of the situation that they can do. And by making a video game, a very successful video game that is outselling a lot of other games on the market right now from Western developers, from companies that tried to just, hit check marks instead of focusing on the game itself, focusing on the story that they wanted to tell, that is true diversity. That is what the gaming industry needs. Different stories from different regions and different countries and different ideologies and different, all sorts of mantras like that. So I don't understand why this is a bad thing. You're not a bad person if you like Black Myth Wukong. You're not a bad person if you don't like Black Myth Wukong. Play what you want to play. Stop making these hypocritical articles and then telling people, oh, check out the FAQ. Hit subscribe if you're new. Like the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.